I still haven't seen I, Frankenstein, but the Underworld
I refuse to see I, Frankenstein.
I was kind of iffy about it, but because it's on Netflix, I'll watch it.
I mean,
Did they just put like paint drawing on Netflix and you'd watch that?
Huh?
yeah, pretty much.
Come on.
Anyway, talking about movies, I think it's time for our movie segment.
Yeah.
Recent movies, Clerks.
Clerks.
Clerks is a great movie.
Absolutely, I love Clerks.
Clerks is a
I
great
watched
movie.
it because of you. Like, I've always known it, and I
got-
never got around to watching it.
I got Trevor to watch it finally. I don't know what's he been doing with his life, not watching Clerks.
Well, hey, I now own both of them, and
I mean,
I
well, okay.
happily own both of them.
Now knowing that we all have seen Clerks, Jason, what did you think of Clerks?
I honestly thought it was fantastic, especially considering like they turned like nothing into a really good movie to me.
Yeah.
That now has just this gigantic cult following.
It's a cult movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I love it.
I do love like the little scene at the end between Dante and Randall. You know, where he gives him that big speech at the end.
Yeah. Randall actually saying something that, wasn't.
Well, fuck you, man.
Pretty much.
He's like, fuck you. Oh, I forgot what he wanted to say.
I know. I always love like anything that's not afraid to like call its main character out on being an asshole.
Like,
Call
he was
it
just
how you
like,
see it,
shit or get off the pot. What the hell does that mean? That means, either you're gonna like shit and get your out of the way, or you're just gonna sit there and not just take it. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna live your life? And then Dante retorts with saying, I would shit my pants instead of, because I don't want to
because he can't affect change,
disrupt the natural order of things. Well, and the whole time it's between like that kind of thing, where Randall's trying to get Dante to change his life, trying to change it, get him out of this, like, not like out of the rut of what job he is, but out of this rut that he has with his girlfriends, because he has 2 girlfriends.
Oh, the poor soul.
And
can't you just relate?
I love the first argument they get into in that movie.
Oh
All the guys she slept with. He's like, try not to suck any dicks on the way out.
Hey, where are you going?
hey. And then, I mean, the whole thing was just, Kevin Smith is just like a genius, comedian, comic genius, like the whole thing. And however,
I've seen like some of his like later stuff. Like I haven't heard good things about like Tusk and whatnot. I feel like
Tusk. I heard about that.
I haven't seen that yet. I want to still see it.
I've heard very
it's
mixed
kind
things
of the I don't know. He kind of might have like risen a little too much, like because you get to the point.
Comedy. I think that's where his best suit is, other than horror.
I mean, what was the other one where it's what was it? It was like they had the kids being tortured at this religious compound.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Red State.
Yeah. I didn't hear many good things about that one either.
I've never heard of it.
Red State. The guy. The character in Clerks 2, the one with the long hair, the religious guy in Clerks 2. He's like, I don't want to hear this shit, Randall. I don't want to hear this, Randall. And then he runs away, but he still has his microphones on, so he's just like, boom.
That nerdy kid who was working there too. That kid was hilarious.
He was
in that movie?
He was the lead in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I also like that I wouldn't have known there was an alternate ending to Clerks.
Clerks, yeah,
Unless you
where
told
Dante
me.
dies.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how I would have reacted if they'd kept that ending.
Yeah, that would have been like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And then done.
Yeah, because now since I bought them on DVD, I saw it and I was like, okay, Pete's always told me, and then I watched it and I was like, this all would be so different if that was just it. Like couldn't really do a Clerks 2. I mean, you could.
Well, the storyline is, like I said, Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, then Clerks 2.
Have you seen the Clerks animated series?
Yes, I have.
I've heard there is one, but I haven't watched it.
It is brilliant. The animated series, I think, is like the best thing that has.
Is it the guy? Is it Dante? And do the actors actually play?
Yeah,
the voices?
yeah. They brought him back.
Okay, that's what I thought. It said these voices are not.
When was the animated series done? Or
I think a couple years after Clerks.
Okay.
Like not that many years.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't say for sure, but no, yeah. Clerks animated, one of the best things I've ever seen.
The other movies I've seen is Clerks, obviously, and I'm still trying to see all those movies in a row. Other movies I've seen would be my thoughts on I, Frankenstein. Personally, it felt very much like Underworld. I mean, it's
that I expected.
I mean, it's by the same creators, so,
which is why I expected that.
So it has the same feel. However, I think the movie was a little bit. I think if they did it like they did Underworld series, like how how many seasons?
I don't know how many Underworld movies they made. Too many.
I think there was 4 because they did like 1, 2, 3, and then went back and I think made a prequel.
I think they were when they did Frankenstein. I think they should have at least done 2, just because the story felt at the very end.
Well, the first
one
only came out like last year, the year before.
So I don't think they're doing it 2, but they should have. I think they should have. So just to have time to like get all what they wanted to do with it. Like, cause I think he was just rushing. Like, okay, we're done. We need to get this done. Let's just send it out.
I hate when a movie rushes itself, and you know it could do better.
Yeah, I mean, and other movies I've seen. So that's my personal opinions. How many people have seen The Hobbit?
I haven't seen any of them.
I never got into the Lord of the... I saw the first movie, and I was like, I won't be able to sit through 3 of these, and then they're coming out 3 more, and I can't...
The Hobbit is a little bit more... not fast-paced, but a little bit more action-packed, I would say, than the Lord of the Rings, because of all that walking they did. Hobbit's a little...
a lot of walking.
I fell asleep on the walking.
Hobbit's a little bit more action-packed than Lord of the Rings series. I mean, it's like, 50 years before the Lord of the Rings series happened? I mean, it's not bad. I'm not going to... There's nothing really to say bad about it.
Go
ahead, Trevor.
I have heard a lot of people talking about the last Hobbit movie that came out. It was the 3rd one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called. Yeah. I've heard people say that you could honestly just watch like the first 20 minutes of it and you don't need to watch the rest of the movie. And that does not sound good at all whatsoever. I mean, granted, it's all leading up to the original trilogy, but I mean...
it's time waste.
There's also the fact that in this series, like in the Lord of the Rings, when you watched it, you're like, when the big fights came, you're like, oh snap, this big fight's coming. Now in The Hobbit, you're not like that as much because you know that these people are going to survive because you know they're going to be
which kind of sucks, which is why
you know Gandalf's not going to be not going to die.
Yeah, no matter what the hell you put them through, you know they're going to come out triumphant. To be honest,
I think Peter Jackson should have started off with The Hobbit and
same with Star Wars,
and then Lord of the Rings.
Same thing. You watch the original trilogy and you go back, it's like, well...
Yeah.
You know Obi-Wan's going to stick around till, almost the end of A New Hope.
You have to remember, George Lucas just wanted to do that he wanted to start off just to see how it would go. That's why he went with 4.
But if you want to go and see how it would go, why start with 4?
Because 4 he thought was the best of his creation of the story.
I really like Empire Strikes Back.
So he went with that, and he just thought it was just going to be like, some movie.
I showed you, because I finished reading Joseph Campbell's The Hero with a Thousand Faces. That follows, the structure of, the hero's journey that he lays out in that, to a T.
Okay.
Like the Star Wars Episode 4. That's what a lot of people say, made that work, as a story.
I saw something recently, too, that I didn't quite read into and dig because I didn't have time to. But I mentioned it, something about, what if Obi-Wan only used Luke Skywalker as bait to get to Vader, and Luke was never really destined to become a Jedi. It just kind of happened. You know what I mean? I didn't read it, and I really wish I did, because now would be the perfect time to elaborate on it. But now I'm going to read it. But, just the concept just caught my eye.
Interesting.
This, there was more to it, but...
It's coming out
it's interesting.
this December, too.
The
Force Awakens. 7.
This one, yeah.
It's finally going to wake up.
The Force is...
Get off the stage!
World of Warcraft movie's coming soon. Either this year or next year. I believe next year.
That's the thing, too.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprised.
It's been going on for a while. It's supposed to...
Dude, ever since...
Never really spent any time.
Ever since Blizzard, bought their, 17th magical diamond castle...
They're like Nicolas Cage of the gaming industry, just buying castles left and right. But So how about you, Trevor? What movies have you seen lately?
Do you watch movies, young man?
He doesn't know. Do you know what the movies are?
You a fan of the moving pictures?
Well, I know one of the last movies I watched that I really enjoyed was Silver Linings Playbook with Jennifer Lawrence, and I forget the guy's name. Have you seen it?
I've never seen it, no.
Fantastic movie. It was one of those moments where you're on Netflix, you don't know what to watch, and you're bored. And then you just find something.
Nothing but good things can come of this.
but then you go, why the hell not? I'll watch it. And it was just a great movie. Just I forget the guy's name. But there's this guy.
I'm compelled.
Man, you got me on the edge of the seat. I can't wait.
See, now I'm forgetting. You put me on the spot. But there was this
guy who lived
with his parents. He was in a facility trying to get better. I forgot. I think he have OCD. I think kind of like his dad, like just extreme OCD. But like he's broken. Like he's just not completely mentally stable. He's supposed to be taking his meds. He's trying not to, and he's saying he is. And he ends up moving back in with his parents, and he meets Jennifer Lawrence, who I think her name was Tiffany. I don't remember. But this time, while he's in this facility, his wife, who was with him, just completely left him. Kind of said, screw you, found some other guy, moved on. It's like, his life is just completely broken. And he meets Jennifer Lawrence, who is just as broken as he is. And just
in real life or in movie character?
Her character.
I believe either one.
Her character in the movie. She is just as broken as he is. Like, she doesn't look it, but then she just completely snaps. Like, just how the two of them get along, and he's like still trying to get back with his wife and figure this shit out. Almost like how in Clerks, when Randall's telling him, take a shit or get off the pot. Like he's trying to do all this stuff, but it's kind of like a dead mission. Like he's trying to just do all this stuff that's only going to hurt him more.
A little failure to launch, if you will.
But like her character, she ends up knowing his wife, like is supposedly friends with him, and says that I'll help you like try and get in touch with her and get back with your wife if you help me with this dance thing, because that's what she cared about. And it's just their relationship of, okay, I'm only dealing with you to try and get to my wife, and she's trying to just use him to like do her shit, but then like just the romance.
But what if they fell in love?
Oh my god!
Eventually happens, yeah. But like I don't know, it's just one of those movies I picked up and watched, and I was just
it was Gravity.
Really good, huh?
Nothing.
You say about Gravity?
Oh well, if you remember the beginning of Gravity, the movie.
I didn't see it.
Not the actual movie, but how it started, or how he wanted it to start.
I didn't see Gravity. That was.
I'm not talking about the movie, like the movie. I'm talking about how he started it. He tried to start it in Hollywood, and they kept on giving her the lead person a love interest. Oh, Hollywood kept on saying, "Oh, why don't you have a love interest back down on Earth?"
I see what you're saying.
No,
okay,
no, I don't want a love interest.
Okay, see,
I just want strictly about space.
It has to be fixed with a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was like, no. He finally got his movie out, which is now Gravity.
That was
Sandra Bullock.
That's what I thought. Okay, I doubted myself. I didn't see it.
They kind of like had a little banter, like a little suggestive banter with George Clooney because George Clooney, but then he dies.
Because George Clooney.
But yeah, anyway.
So, last movie I saw at the theaters was me and a buddy went to go see Interstellar. And, yeah, Matthew McConaughey, who now he's decided I'm going to actually act in movies. But, no, yeah, he was pretty good. I really liked parts of the movie. I liked how far they were taking things.
I heard that the movie was... When I was listening to a podcast, I heard the movie. I don't know if you can clarify this.
Yeah.
But he was dead, but not dead. Like he was supposed to be dead.
Yeah, they kind of straddle the line. They kind of straddle the line at the end, with like they throw in a lot of the time dilation stuff that you saw earlier on Game Theory, Trevor.
That was cool.
But yeah, they play with a lot of those concepts, and then they like recreate a lot of like astrological phenomenon that are based a lot in theory, and like recreate it with some of the best effects I've ever seen.
I'm kind of forgetting some of the premise of Interstellar because I just I saw it was a thing and then just didn't I just didn't look into it anymore. Yeah,
Jesse Cox, he on Cox and Crender was talking about it, and the premise of the movie was very confusing. At some points, were very confusing sounding, and it the part where he was dead or not dead, or
I just don't remember
where was he? Was he like in a fixed? Was he in a different fixed location?
Essentially, it gets to the point where he is taking his ship through a black hole.
Okay.
Nothing good can come out of that.
But they tease a little bit at the beginning that there's a ghost in his young daughter's room, that knocks books off the shelves and gets things lined up that spell out like coordinates in space.
Okay. To where he is.
Right, essentially to where he ends up going,
Yeah.
I believe. And then he goes through the black hole because he is so far out in space, he has like time dilated like years. Like he spent a few like hours or like a day or two in space, and it has been years. It has been decades on Earth. Like,
see, I don't even remember the whole story to Interstellar.
like because of the heavy gravity on this one planet, time moves so differently there. Like they spend a few hours down there, and it's a few years to the guy in the ship.
Oh, that's so like in Doctor Who with the Satan guy. When David Tennant goes down to the demon.
Satan's pit?
Yeah, Satan's pit. That's like the same concept where the time was slowing down because of they were right next to a black hole.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Right,
so go ahead.
He tries to get back by going through the black hole, and like it's really intense sequence.
Okay.
But basically, the ship holds up, and he's beyond like
Saving.
space and time thing.
Okay.
Like he finds himself floating in this weird like trippy out of like reality plane.
Them shrooms, man.
But he like
We do not condone
finds-
what Trevor does.
Oh, God. What?
he sees he's behind space. He sees the bookshelf in his daughter's room when she was little.
Okay.
And he's like knocking on. He's like, "It's me!"
Oh,
and then his
okay.
knocking hits the books off the shelf, and that's like the twist. Like he was the ghost all along.
So it's kind of foreshadowed in the beginning.
Okay. That's interesting.
So then he like finds a way to get like back through because this was like placed here by like these godly alien kind of beings.
So it's sort of like Green Lantern's guy. Those guys they have
See,
to
like
follow.
the spiral galaxies of Gurren Lagann, like just a whole other place.
Interesting concept though. It's not a little confusing. But
Yeah, he like finally he finds his way back when his daughter's like a dying like grandma.
The only movie I've seen at the theater recently was Night of the Museum. The third one.
Oh dear, no.
Robert Williams.
But
I'm not gonna talk
at the museum.
Oh hell! Last movie I watched was Jumanji. Wow, now I feel stupid. I literally watched that.
Jumanji's a little, I guess, better.
I know, dude. It's Jumanji. Was I watching before? Oh, see,
Really
I always
found.
forget these things. It comes naturally. Yeah, last things. You guys ever watched A Knight's Tale?
Knight's Tale.
Heath Ledger when he's like
I know he was
20.
in that, but
He was like 20 or 21. Like he was our age.
Why so serious?
Love that movie. I love A Knight's
Does
Tale.
it say why so serious? Why so serious?
Man, it's
I don't think he would really have a reason to do that, Pete.
Have you guys ever seen Knight's Tale at all?
No.
No.
Great movie.
I'll go check it out at the library.
I grew up watching that a lot. Yeah, you will. It's on Netflix. Just watch it.
You Netflix him library. You two guys.
Netflix is my library, and then he grabs stuff and gives it
I'm
to
like
me.
right there to the library.
Screw it. This is true. Yeah, he's younger. Back in medieval, it's got that medieval feel to it, but it's very modern in terms of like the music. Like they use a lot of classic rock. Like it's just it's a really good genre mix where it's got that action and comedy and like the good setting. It works. It just freaking works. But him and wow, I always forget his name.
Oh my god, what's that movie?
The guy who is in have you seen Still Standing? Like the big heavyset guy?
Nope.
I always forget his name. I want to pull it up now. You'll know who I'm talking about.
What's that movie with
Okay, you keep going. I'll find it and get
with
back to
a
this.
the guy from The Matrix.
Lawrence Fishburne?
No.
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves when he was really young. That really stupid movie.
Which one?
I hope you're not going to say Bill and Ted, because you say
Bill and Ted.
I love Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted was a knockoff of Doctor Who. I hope you know that.
Bill
right?
and Ted is... Oh, of course. They travel through time in a phone booth. Yes, it's a knockoff
And then
of
George
Doctor
Carlin
Who.
was there.
That movie, I love
that
Bill
movie,
and Ted.
man.
Bill and Ted is just...
Before he became a bigger douche than he is now.
Wild Stallions! Oh, I love that.
Like, when he was a tolerable douche. Now he's
A
dead.
tolerable douche.
Now I don't... Dude, man.
He's a
Matrix,
full grown douche.
Dude. Oh, Kyle.
The other
Keanu
thing
Reeves.
was
Cool.
I saw the Truman Show a while ago,
Show.
and I finally got it on DVD, and I love that movie.
That's a great movie.
Dude, Jim Carrey, like, he can
love
do
that-
dramatic acting when he needs to.
I love that the fact that he was like this Was he an experiment in this like fake world?
Yeah. Fake city.
Fake city on this TV network. If you never saw it,
one man
go
reality
to your nearest
show.
library or go wherever you can find it and watch it. I mean, it was good. It's like
it's amazing, and like
when you hear
perfect satire.
Like when you hear Jim Carrey, you hear, oh, wow, alrighty then. But this one was more like he was not like that at all. He was a lot more mellowed out, dramatic. Like Jason said, when he can do dramatic movies.
Like he was like losing his mind. Like there's a little madness to it, but then there's also like a core like sadness like to the character that you see.
Oh, I just pulled up. It's Mark Addy.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking of. I Feel Dumb. He portrayed the first king in Game of Thrones in the first season.
Oh,
I can't believe I forgot he did that.
Pull up Jim Carrey's movies.
Jim Carrey? Okay.
There's a movie that, like, it's not comedy at all. It's really, really good.
Please don't tell me you're talking about number 23.
No.
Good. Was it Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Pete?
Yes.
I knew it!
Yes, that was a great movie.
I don't think
I still haven't seen it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
I
movie, you
don't
have
think
to check
I've
that
ever... I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about it.
It's like if you ever want to see, if you like Jim Carrey as a sad comedy, this one would sort of kind of put you off balance on how he acted. I do know there's
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yeah, the name sounds familiar.
There's another one too that I'm trying to think of. I can't remember right now. But
I have the whole list right here. Here, just scroll through his filmography.
But yeah, the Deadpool. We'll keep talking.
Yeah.
About whatever you want.
Oh, I was looking up that.
Yeah, I think we can move into we can get video games in.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I always forget when it comes to movies. I have to think more.
The Majestic.
The Majestic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
The Majestic was a more. It was another one of his more dramatic films about a love story, and it was really put together. There was he was serious throughout the whole thing. It was very good.
Seems like it's set back on like anywhere between the 40s and the 60s.
It's got like a really retro poster.
It does.
Yeah, because it was set in the 40s and.
Didn't do too well in the box office.
No, but
budget was $72 million and it made $37.
Every now and then that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it was a good movie though.
I believe it.
Probably because people didn't expect Jim Carrey to be like that.
They say
at the time.
People don't like it when actors break typecast.
Right.
But sometimes those are some of the best movies when you just see another side to an actor that they just get they get stuck in that role.
One time.
No, I don't want them to have range.
At some point, I should check it out.
You're supposed to be funny.
At some point, I'm gonna check it out and we'll all watch it.